How are you guys doing? Today is Thursday, July 8th, 2021. I'm James Sims. For this episode of The Elite, now that the Euro 2020 semifinals are officially over following yesterday's matchup, I'm going to preview Sunday's matchup as Italy will face off against England. I'm going to preview this matchup by, of course, giving a little bit of context as to how both of these teams got here, starting or looking at how both games finished out just to see how both of these teams got here, just to give a little bit of context. Starting with Italy on the first hand, because Italy won on Tuesday. Italy will go on to make this, or they will go on to... They will come into the knockout stages as the number one team from the A bracket. So in their very first matchup, they will go on to face off against Austria. And in their first matchup against Austria, they would pick up and this would be a matchup that went on into extra time as nobody scored in regular time. Their first goal will come from Federico Chiesa, and then they would get another goal from Matteo Pessina in the first half of extra time. And then in Austria would get their only goal of the game from Sasa Kalajic. With this win, Italy was able to advance to the quarterfinals of the Euros, where they were able to face off against Belgium, a team that many people had as their favorite. Italy would score the very first two goals of the game, as they got goals in the first half from Nicolo Barella and Lorenzo Insigne. Belgium would score their only goal at the end of the first half off of a Romelu Lukaku PK. But following this matchup, Italy would prevail, winning this one 2-1. That is how they earned their way into the semifinals. In the semifinals, they would have to face off against Spain, of course, one of the best teams in the world. And in this matchup would end up in a 1-1 draw. Federico Chiesa would get the only goal for Italy in the 60th minute. And then Alvaro Morata will score in the 80th minute for Spain to send this game into extra time. And this game would end up going to penalties, where Italy would win on penalties to make it to the final. So, of course, that is how Italy was able to make it here. And then looking at the other end of the aisle, looking at how England was able to make it here. England was able to make it to this round after finishing first in the D group. In their very first matchup, they would have to face off against Germany in the round of 16, Germany being the 2014 World Cup winner. So, of course, they're always top contenders. The very first goal of this game would be scored in the 75th minute by Raheem Sterling, and then Harry Kane's 86th-minute goal would be what it needed for England to make it to the quarterfinal round. Once they beat Germany, they would have to face off against Ukraine. In this matchup, England would end up just routing Ukraine. Their very first goal will come from their elite striker, Harry Kane, in the 4th minute. Their second goal will come in the beginning of the second half from Harry Maguire. Their third goal will come in the 50th minute from Harry Kane, as Harry Kane was able to get a brace. And then Jordan Henderson, the midfielder from Liverpool, was able to score in the 63rd minute to give England the 4-0 win that earned them their spot in the semifinal. And in their semifinal game yesterday, they were able to beat Denmark 2-1. As this game will go on into extra time, Denmark scored the first goal of the game from Michael Damsgaard, and then the own goal from Simon Kjaer would send the game into extra time. And the extra time, England's elite striker, Harry Kane, would get a penalty kick chance, and once it was saved, he was able to knock it back in. And with that goal, England with a 2-1 win, England has secured a spot where they will face off against Italy on Sunday for the Euro 2020 final. Of course, this is going to be a well-anticipated matchup. And once this matchup is completed, I will do a championship profile for the winning team, because this is a very big matchup as it pertains to just the world of soccer, as England or Italy winning can most definitely shift the power of football in the country of Europe. But with that said, in the continent of Europe. But with that said, that is everything that is going on, at least for this round up until this point. And once the Euro 2020 final is completed on Sunday, I will come back with a championship profile. But until then, I want to thank everyone for listening to all 5 minutes of my piece. I hope all is well. I want to thank ESPN and FIFA, the FIFA websites, for giving me the facts and figures that I needed in order to do so. And last, of course, I want to thank for the millionth time everyone for listening to this piece. I hope all is well. And once all of today's matchups are done, I will come back with more episodes tomorrow. But until then, thanks for listening to everything, and I hope you stay elite. Thanks for listening to my piece, and peace out. I'll catch you with more episodes after this.